this tutorial, we'll go through how to examine for contact lenses, record the data, order contact lenses, and print prescriptions for contact lenses if needed. So after selecting the patient, we select the contact lens tab over here to bring us to this screen. Now, one thing you'll notice is that you really can't enter anything in the top portion of this screen. The reason being is the top portion describes the final contact lens prescription. So in order to get to a final contact lens prescription, what do we normally do? Well, the first thing we do is we fit a trial lens, and there may be many trial lenses before we finally find a trial lens that we like. Then generally that trial lens is sent home with the patient, and when the patient comes back, we do a follow-up visit on that particular trial lens. We may make some changes at that time, have them come back for another follow-up visit, and finally at one point in time we will make the prescription final. And that's kind of the way Vision's contact lens tab works. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to click on the trial lens button here on the right side, and that will bring up our trial lens screen. And here the data goes in similar to the way it went in for refractive findings. So again, you'll hit the plus or minus key to increment or decrement the value by a quarter. And as we tab over, we can just put some data in here. The contact lens brand can be selected here, and there are numerous types of contacts that come pre-programmed into the system. Of course, you can add or subtract these as you see fit. So we're just going to pick one here that doesn't matter. And we're going to pick another one here. And we're going to add some more data to the left side. Okay, so as we put the trial lens on, we're going to take the patient's VA in both eyes. And if it's a toric, of course, we can record the rotation, however you notate rotation, position, movement, coverage, and comfort. Now, as you start entering this data in, the system will start remembering what you put in, and a simple double click at a later date will pull up these same kinds of values, so you won't have to type them in all the time. And you would do the same for the left eye. So we can try this lens on the patient. If this is sufficient, then we will send the patient home with this, and we can indicate that we dispensed it to the patient. If this lens is good, but it's not good enough, we can make a note and maybe order a different trial lens, or we can order a supply of contacts if this is the final lens. So we're going to save this data now. And let's say the patient comes back. We'll close this. Now, nothing was entered here yet because we haven't finalized the prescription. So let's say it's a week later, patient comes back, we want to do a follow-up visit on this particular trial lens. So then we'll click the follow-up visit button here. And here you can see that the contact lens information is up here. And we have a bunch of data points that we might want to fill in to judge the fit of this lens. So we can put on our VAs. Wearing times. Okay, and then the other criteria. Now here you can do a double click and it will cycle through some conventional types of data. So as you can see, movement can be a millimeter, half, or a quarter, or if you Want to get particular, you can change it to whatever you like. Same thing, comfort, good, fair, poor, just with a double click. And you can proceed through the rest of these data points by double clicking to put some particular data in there. If you don't want to click in each box and everything looks really good, you can click the Everything's Good button, which populates all the boxes with particular data. Now you can populate those and then you can change them one at a time if you feel that's what you want to do. Okay, so we're going to save this. Now, of course, you can have more than one follow-up visit for a particular lens. So if we wanted to, patient came in another week or month or whatever time period, you can click Add New and add another follow-up visit in there. So now we're back to the trial lens that we originally tried on, and this is the one we're working with. And if everything looks good, we can click the Make RX Final button. And what this will do is it will populate the original contact lens tab screen with this data. And you can see up here it says this is the final record. So this is the lens we're going to go with. A couple other things before we conclude. You can bring, let's say a patient has been in your office before and they're going to be you're going to be prescribing the same lens. They're in a particular contact lens that you're happy with, they're happy with. Maybe you made a change or two to the sphere or cylinder power, but the fit and the brand of lens are going to be the same. You can click the Bring Contact Lens Forward button down here on the left, and that will bring the contact lens prescriptions from the past to a screen in front of you. You can select the one you like. And again, it will just pre-populate these boxes with that information, and you can make minor changes at that point. Bring data forward is if you are, let's say you're trying some trial lenses, and the first trial lens is a good fit, but the prescription's not good. Well, you can add a new trial contact lens, bring the data forward, which would again populate all the boxes with the previous trial lens from today, and then you can make some minor changes to it. So there's two ways to get data into the trial lens window that is very convenient and easy if you're wanting to populate with data that's already been entered into the system. So we're going to close this now. And as you can see, it populated the top part of the record up here with the data points that we put in. It automatically puts a 1-year expiration date for the patient. You can change that, of course. And down towards the bottom, you'll see the dispensing information. So we can click whether this is a 6-pack or a single lens. And you can, again, you can change this if it's something that's odd and not conventional. Then you indicate their wearing schedule, how many times you want it refilled in, let's say, a 12-month period, and if there's an equivalent lens to that. If you're printing the prescription out for the patient, they may need all this information. You particularly want to get the expiration date in there. So now you can print this prescription if you like. You can add notes to this particular prescription. And of course you can add this to jobs on order. If the contact lens is exactly the same as their previous visit, you can bring all the data forward from their previous visit and just populate the boxes here.